Hi everyone, I am back. Whoops. I am back and I have received a lot of new pouring medium. And before I start, with the same Winsor & Newton and the Vallejo and everything, I came across some other paint I had and while I was mixing it, I was thinking, hey, maybe some people are experiencing the same thing I am seeing right now, so I'm going to talk about this. And so this is just one of those educational videos again. The thing is that not all paint is good for the pouring, because you have some paints that sort of foam. And before, I have had people send me pictures of pours where they had all these bubbles in the paint. And as you can see here, there's a lot of bubbles. And it's frothy. And it does have a buildup, and if I hold it up, it streams off the stick, but also it has a lot of bubbles. And depending on the color, this one even has more. Can you see that? How many bubbles it has? And this one, this tops it off, because this is so foamy and frothy that, it's just so full of air bubbles. You can just see them all. So what I thought I'd do, because I like to show you how things also can go wrong, and I like to show you, I like to replicate the same things you guys are going through. So that's why I thought, instead of not pouring this, I thought I'd just pour it. So what I have is a cheap 20 by 20 canvas. I bought some cheap ones. It does have the little pegs in there, but it doesn't have the really nice rounded edges. It's pretty square, and well, it's just a little bit cheaper, but that's okay. Don't even know what's going on here. I think that's the peg I put through. Okay, but for the purpose of pouring, it's okay. Now, like always, I'm going to start off with the white, and I did a really good job stirring it all up, and I let it sit for an hour. I've had it in water to warm the paint up a little bit. Maybe, I thought maybe then it'll release all those bubbles. But we'll see what it's gonna give us. So, putting in a lot of the colors. This one's full of full of bubbles, and the nice bright orange. Then we'll put the white on top. Then we'll go for this one is very frothy, as you can see. But we'll just see what it gives us. Who knows? Might give us something that we didn't expect. Who knows? Putting in a little bit more orange. And some of that nice dark yellow. That's enough. Got to get the palette knife for the sides. So we have it all in the cup. I'm going to give it one stir, just like that. And I'm going to do a controlled flip cup. There we go. And of course, I'm going to make sure that all the paint comes out. But there's still a lot of paint in there, so I'm going to help it out a little bit. There we go. Now, let's see what we can make with this. As you can see, it does sort of level out. That's good. Gonna let it go over the sides a little bit. What I do like is that it holds the silicone, because I don't see silicone rising to the top yet, so that's good. And I'm going to put a little bit back on here, just to help it go over the side, because I like the stripes that are here, so I'd like to keep those. Here we go. And I really can see that it's really thick and full of bubbles. So helping it over the side here. I'm gonna do the side down here and the corner. Okay, here's a little bit of canvas left on the side. Okay, now we got everything covered. What I do like is this, this really beautiful pattern. So I do like that, but there's no silicone coming up, so that's good. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of air bubbles popping because of the pressure that's coming out. But also there are really little tiny, really tiny cells, and that's kind of cool that this is happening, because that's also something that people are writing me about, that they're only getting tiny little cells. And as you can see, I have to do a lot of torching. Okay. Now, if you recognize this, I'll hold it up close. Let's see. And get you in focus. See, there are nice cells. That's kind of nice. But the paint is just thick because it's so full of air bubbles. And when I put this down, when I put it away, I'm sure that a lot of those little air bubbles are going to come to the surface. And once this dries, it's going to give us a totally pinhole thing. So I'll keep you posted when it dries. I can even do it right now, torch it again, because I see all the little bubbles coming to the top. See that? A lot of little pinholes bursting. And of course, what you don't want is when the painting dries, you don't want to have all those little pinholes, because that really takes away from the overall picture of the pour. So that's something you really don't want to have. You want to avoid that. Now, another thing, because, you know, for me too, this is all sort of coming together. I've had people email me that they only got these tiny little cells. Well, you see it right here, tiny little cells. Can't make them bigger. Then they say they never get lacing. Well, I know, because out of experience, I know that what you see here, this just a light, I don't know how you call it. It's a sheen of white coming over the orange. Normally, when we're doing Winsor & Newton, this would guarantee us lacing. This would lace up from top to bottom, full of lacing. And that's not happening because this paint reacts differently to the silicone, reacts differently to each other, and because of the bubbles in the paint. Now, is this an ugly canvas? Absolutely not, because I really like it. I like that, you know, what's going on down here. I love that. What's going up, what's going around here. I like that. I like the cells that it's showing. And this might even move a little, you know, not much though, but it will move a little before it's dry. I'm pretty sure about that. And to take it to the next level, I'm going to do a swipe on the photo paper, because it's really important that we also see what happens there. But, you know, now I understand the problem some people have. If you're having these problems, I would say switch your paint brand because it's the paint brand that's doing it. When it, you know, sort of goes all frothy, that's what you want to avoid. And sometimes when you're doing the mixing, you'll have paint bubbles. But if you have let that paint stand for an hour, you know, as you can see here, it's still full of air bubbles. And it's just really, see that? How frothy it is? And that's not going to go away. I'm pretty sure of it. So even if you tap, that's what I normally do. You know, just drop it on the table like that it comes up, and then torch it one time. It should be gone. That's usually what I do with the paint. So, but that's not happening. So this will not dry very smooth. It will have these little bumps here and there. I'm pretty sure of that. But, well, that's the way it goes, right? Yields. Okay, I'm gonna put this one away. I'm gonna get a paper. And I'm gonna put it away, and I'm gonna do some photo paper. See how it's not totally smooth? Now there's just one more thing that I'm gonna try with this, because this paint you can compare it with, let's see, golden paint, but in the tube, because this comes out of a tube. So you can compare it with that. And I know that the people that have got really good results with this type of paint, that they put a lot of alcohol in it. I'll do that right now if I can find my alcohol. Yeah, alcohol is upstairs. I think I have something else. Let's see. Nope. I'll have to get that from upstairs, but I'll do that when I stop videoing. I'll put a little bit of alcohol in here, see if that helps. Because I've heard that they do 1 part paint, 5 parts alcohol. That's a lot, but I can try that. Okay, we have our photo paper, and what I'd like to do is take a little bit of this and a little bit of the orange, because this has the least amount of bubbles. This one is okay too if I scrape it from the side. And then I'll get my white, put that over there, clean off the palette knife. At first I'm going to swipe it. And as you can see, it's a pretty good swipe, but I think it's too thick to get those nice cells. And that, see, that is the lacing. That is lacing, and I think this time it works because it's thinner. I put it on thinner. So let's just keep this one. See there, the red is coming through. That's kind of nice. Here I have some double ringed cells. Let me get you in close. There it is. See that? So let's do another one. This time I'll take some of the paint from the table. But as you can see, it's really thick. See how many bubbles are in there? That's just way too much. So let's put some more orange on there. Kind of nice color. And some white. And let it come down. And let's Let's see what this does. See how many bubbles are in there? A lot of bubbles. I have to almost torch it to death to get this. So that's just too much. Don't want to, you know, form a skin because you don't want to do that. Let's do another color. See, almost nothing. So we're, I'm done with this. So this isn't even worth saving, this one. The other one I'll save because I like what's going on here. That's kind of nice. I can make a little pendant out of that one. And I'm pretty sure it's going to stay that way, so that's okay. We can keep that one. And for this is just, you know, well, I think it was a good video to show you what you can come across. And if you do get that, if you experience the same thing, it would be nice then that you know what's happening. See how much of those little bubbles are in there? Now I'm going to put another one. See, it's just like a little pillow. That's kind of cute. Okay, let's put the orange on because I'm looking for something that I can save. There we go. Let's see what we can do. Just really tiny, tiny bubbles. That's all that it releases. And this would be nice, you know, for a background something. This will be nice, but that's not what we're looking for. So I'm gonna be cleaning this all up. And this time I received a lot more of that pouring medium to test. So tomorrow I have to skip a day. Can't do anything tomorrow, I think. I'm not sure yet. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on how, what time I get home. But this weekend, we will be experimenting a lot. And I'm talking a lot because I got a lot of pouring medium. So I got so much. I think I can pour the whole weekend and still have some left over. So I have two types to test. One is a little thicker and one is thin, and both are not as thick as the first one I tried because we had to add a little bit too much water, so we don't want to do that. So it has the same miracle cell making stuff, so we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. So that's what's gonna come up this weekend. And don't be afraid, I'm gonna be posting a lot of videos. You don't have to watch them all. Save some for during the week. That's okay with me, okay? Gotta say I love you all to pieces and liebe euch alle. And I will see you when I see you. Bye-bye.